now it's finally up for you, Baby Pepe. I don't know much about your project, so I'm really interested in hearing about this one.
You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know? Don't you know?
Remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Great stuff today. Lars, thank you for having me. I've learned a lot. Really excited to hear all the speakers up here on the panel. They've done a great job and really cool to connect with people in blockchain. So with that being said, we've heard some great utility projects up here, and we're going to switch it up a little bit here today. So what we're going to do is talk about a meme coin, full out meme coin, as meme as it gets. A couple of things I want to start off with. First of all, my name is Altfather, and I'm representing a project called Baby Pepe. I guess I should start by going into the whole thesis of why Baby Pepe. So I think a lot of us know or have seen that Pepe has really just taken over the space as of late. They came out last year and they mooned all the way to $1 billion market cap. They retreated down to around 200 million or so, and have recently jumped back up in the last couple of months to 5 billion. Now, what happens now is it's kind of taken the space as the narrative. I think last cycle we had the big narrative with Dodge, and that was really hype, and it really mooned, and all the Dodge derivatives mooned like crazy. I think Baby Dodge went to about $1 billion market cap, so it was really wild at the time, and all the derivatives were doing 100 to 200 million market cap. So really crazy. So this cycle, I've taken the bet myself, and I think a lot of people obviously in the community have as well, into Baby Pepe. And there's a couple of reasons why Baby Pepe, why this Baby Pepe. So the first thing I want to start off with is the original Pepe there, the one that's 5 billion market cap. It has a contract address that is OX or 0x69. Very interesting contract. Nothing super special, but over time it's kind of become a thing. And to go even further to that, when you look at NFTs and stuff, you're buying all of these things with rarity, right? When we talk about coins and meme coins, and there's so many versions of the same coin, like how do you tell them apart, right? So something that I kind of caught on to, seeing some other projects having a unique contract address that matched the original Pepe address. So not the whole address, obviously, but the prefix, right? So OX69 has kind of become a household name because that's what the Pepe is, right? If you're looking for the Pepe in crypto, you know, the best way to do that is to give it the DNA code, right? So the DNA code to me would be OX69. Now, with that being said, we've recently had the rise of Andy. That's Pepe's best friend on Ethereum as well. And it's risen to, I think it topped out at 300 million market cap, and it's retraced and consolidating probably with another leg up as Pepe keeps rising. Interesting thing about that Andy, though, because there were other versions. Why did this one go up so high? Well, it had the contract address OX68, which is one off from Pepe OX69, right? Interesting. Next thing you see is Wolf come out, Land Wolf, another friend of Pepe. There are previous Land Wolf renditions out there on the Ethereum blockchain. One was sitting at about 20 million market cap when this Land Wolf came out. This Land Wolf flipped that, went all the way to about 120 million market cap, and is retracing, sitting around 60 or 70 million right now. Now let's ask ourselves, why did this Land Wolf go up? The other one was active. They were the OG. Why did this one go up? Well, guess what the prefix is? 0x67. So are we starting to see a pattern here? 0x67, Land Wolf, 0x68, Andy, 0x69, Pepe. So as this develops, you've got now a Brett that's 0x66. You've got some of the other Pepe characters, like Fofar and Bird Dog. Can you guys still hear me? Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry. Fofar, Bird Dog at OX70, OX71. So a lot of these interesting prefix addresses have started popping up everywhere. And it seems like the space is really starting to take interest in them. And I really took interest in them. Why? Because it makes sense, right? Like we're all into rarity in NFTs. You know, I was into ordinals early, and it's all about provenance and who was first and what number are they? You know what I mean? What's the inscription number? You know, so what Satoshi is it printed on? You know, is it the pizza Satoshi? Is it this? Is that? So why can't meme coins follow a similar structure? And that's what we're kind of seeing right now, which leads me to Baby Pepe and my journey with Baby Pepe. I saw this early in one of my lounges that uses the TTF bot, by the way. And Baby Pepe came in there. It was originally a dev launched it. I bought in, I think around like, you know, 500,000 market cap or whatever. It ran to 1 million. And then you have that typical dev behavior where they dump the project. It dumped pretty low. And then immediately started getting bought up again. And I noticed right away, and I jumped in too, is that you know, I FOMO'd because I was like, you know what, look at this contract address. So if you haven't noticed, and this is where I'm going with all this, Baby Pepe here owns the contract address 0x69BABE. I'm going to say that one more time. 0x69BABE. So to me, oh, sorry, I was muted. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, we're good. Okay. So yeah, so I saw the address there and I was like, nah, no way. This has got to do good. Even though it's like a rug project, no one's around. Someone's gonna come in here and pick this up. It's just too good. And it just so we're aware of these contract addresses. I don't know how they generate them. I've asked around because I'm really interested to know, and no one really has a great answer. I've seen a couple posts online that says it's like 1 in like 30 million can generate them, and someone commented to me that yeah, you can, you know, there's people trying to generate them, and if they get one, maybe they sell it. So if a dev team picks it up, they can use that. You know, there's several other really neat ones. Another one I'm in is OX Beef, right? And with BEEF, and it's like a beef, like, you know, so these things I think are what's going to really take over as time goes by in the space. And we have so many renditions of these meme coins. Because what to me it does, and what I've seen happen with Andy and Wolf, you know, and Brett as well, they all flipped the OG, right? And that leads us to Baby Pepe again. So we rugged. I bought in. I knew that people were going to come and take this over, and sure enough, it happened like right away because people were on this, right? So there was already a gentleman named Nifty doing voice chats in the VC every day in the Telegram, and right away I thought this is exactly what I want to see in a meme coin, where they show up every day. They're keeping people interested. They're building a community. It's not just like a ghosted thing with one tweet a day, and that's the only effort they put in, right? So I was like, damn, this looks good. Bought a little more, of course, and started helping out, getting in the voice chat, talking. And then I noticed there was a lot of really intelligent investors coming in. And that's, you know, to me, when I look at memes, I need to see something that's going to keep that meme with staying power. You know, a lot of these things like the dev rugs, there's nothing that's keeping this around. There's no news driving the narrative at all, right? Like it's just, it's there, it's a cat, it's a dog, and like where can you really like keep that going? You know what I mean? So for this narrative, obviously the contract address in itself is the icing on the cake. Like you really don't need anything. You don't even really need, in true memetic fashion, you shouldn't need anything else but the contract address. We're in a different world now where it's an attention economy, so obviously we need to do more things. But that there is the complete sell. The other thing though is that Baby Pepe, there were a couple ahead of us in market cap when we got in, but once the community really took control and we joined forces together, we have a team of about 15 plus people that show up every day. We have VCs in the whale chat every day, VCs in the marketing chat every day, VCs in the general chat every day. Like, this is no joke. And you know why? It's because all these people really believe that this can be the one, right? And like a lot of people say that, but no. We have the contract address. We flipped all the other Baby Pepes across all blockchains. We're number one in market cap. And we were lower than all of them at the start. They're all ghosted, right? So we have that. We're the front runner there. We've built a huge community. And with that being said, I want to go over a few things of what we've done because I'm so proud of this team and how far they've come. And I've written some notes to say what we've done. So as I said, we're the leading market cap. We get the most engagement out of all Baby Pepes. Recently, too, I'm sure you're all aware of Cabal coins launching. There was a Cabal coin that launched a fake Baby Pepe 3 days ago, 4 days ago. They came out, their market cap went to 20 million in a couple of hours with 60 followers on Twitter. Okay. So we knew right away, this is bullshit. And yeah, they didn't last. All their comments were all from like, and that's another thing when you guys scope out meme coins, like check to see who's commenting. Is it real people or is this a farm by the cabal? Because that's a lot of what's happening. And they control the supply and they manipulate it until they want to dump it. And that's what happens. Anyway, these guys came out. It was rough because we're like instantly beat our market cap right away with no people. And we stuck together as a team. And we educated people about what was going on. And, you know, we were already in a retracement because we ran from 100K to 10 million in like a week and a half, a la Pepe fashion, because that's what Pepe does, right? And then we retraced down to around 3 million or so. So when this happened, these guys came out, instantly shot up ahead of us. Then they came down and we educated people. And yeah, they've just pretty much died because they're not a real community. So the one thing that I really love to see that our community actually came together because we really have something here. So that was really awesome. So we're the leading market cap now by several X's. We have the contract address that can't be beaten. The community has donated money to get us listed on CoinMarketCap, which has already been done. CoinGecko, which has already been done. We have a 15-person plus team. We have whale support, meaning that our whale group donates to help different things to get us on trending and stuff like that. Our top wallets are also, our whale group also has connections to a lot of different whales and also influencers and stuff like that. So when we're in the process of deciding marketing, we have a lot of people that we can use as backup with connections to get us the right people. We have a community marketing wallet. So what this was is when the project started coming together with the CTO, the community went and asked for the top holders, the whales, to all contribute to the marketing wallet. We did that, and we now have 7 billion tokens in there. At this market cap, roughly, that's $45,000. So that was all donated by the people on top of us getting all that other stuff done previously. We have several content creators from the community that just want to help out, and they make wonderful Baby Pepe pictures all the time. We have people from the community that have made us videos. So we now have video animation on a regular basis. I think we have 2 Baby Pepe videos so far and more in the works. We have wearables for PFPs. Now, this is something a little bit different. Usually people use PFPs with their NFTs. What I've noticed kind of starting in the crypto community with a couple of projects, I think Mog does this. I know my personal profile, I use Wolf and also Brett. They've done this as well. And by a wearable PFP, wearables for a PFP, what I mean is like they create sunglasses with the logo of the project on it, or they create a hat with the logo of the project on it. So you can have your regular PFP, like I see most of you guys have pictures of a character in the audience here. You can put this hat from, or these sunglasses from Wolf, and anyone that wears the sunglasses, that's kind of like their like gang flag, you know what I mean? So Brett has a hat. There's another one, Pepe with hat on Solana. They have a toque. So what we have and what we developed, I don't have it on hand here, and it hasn't been released to the market yet, but it's already made, is we have a chain, like a diamond encrusted chain that says Baby Pepe. And we also have a diamond encrusted soother for Baby Pepe. And those are just little fun things that meme coins to do to really like, create your community, create the unity and stuff like that, right? So pretty cool stuff. We also have community led raid and shill teams, meaning we have some excellent members in the community. Shout outs to Lotus and Shane in here. Um, Boomsies. Yeah, there's a few of you out there that really go above and beyond. They write comments with multiple sentences to really get people's attention. They don't just write botted type comments. They're very elegant in how they try to interact on X. And I think that's a lost art that people really need to learn. We do weekly spaces. We recently did one with 10 other boys club members. So anyone that has a meme project or anything like that, we're welcome to doing that. We want to do them every week because like Lars here, we believe in collaborations. We believe in, talking, getting people to know about crypto, showing them that there's some good people out there and all of that stuff. We also have daily VC chats in the Telegram, which is provided by one of our awesome members, Nifty. He does them every day, and that's I really appreciate that. That takes a lot of time, so I appreciate him and what he does. We have a real community where people are making friendships. Like I said, we're at VC every day. You know these people by now. I'm in the marketing VC. I'm in the Wales VC. I know all these people by now. After 2 weeks of doing that every day, without seeing their faces, these people. When Baby Pepe hits 1 billion, we're all going on a vacation on me. Couple other points before I finish here. We have 1,000 plus holders. We just got that with great distribution. 2,000 plus members in the Telegram. Yeah, I think that's about it for my shills. Oh no, I have a few more things. We've partnered with a gentleman named Easy. He's a popular influencer where we go on his spaces once a week and he does a few tweets about us. And yeah, that's been pretty cool. He's come on our spaces. He stayed the entire time, which I really respect and appreciate because he didn't have to do that. We had the Elon parody account tweet us the other day. Today, we had a post by James Wynn, who's a really popular OG Pepe guy. Everybody knows him. He's pumping a few Pepe projects there, and he put our picture in his graphic today. So that was a big win for the community to get that out of the blue, to have some of these big names starting to kind of show some hyper respect to us. And yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. Some popular terms I want to leave you with here. The bloodline of OX69. We are the bloodline of OX69. The DNA is in the CA. The DNA is in the CA. On-chain DNA. On-chain DNA. And the last one, rarity in the CA. Rarity in the CA.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Thanks, guys.
Amazing. I love your presentations. I have always been very much interested in the meme space, right? I'm one of the people who actually joined very early. Somebody mentioned buying bitcoins, buying pizza with bitcoins, and I was one of those guys back in 11, 12, 13. So I've been around for a long time, and I see all of this insane support where community members comes in and speak about a project, and they really go in and support it to a next level, which is extremely hard for utility projects to go in and get. And just obviously there is some wealth distribution. There is a lot of things included in these meme coins. You can say a lot of meme coins have done extremely well. Dogecoin started out, Shiba, and now Pepe came and did really amazing. And here we are sitting with Baby Pepe, but just hearing the support
the lore is what, you know what I mean? Like, it's the storyline.
It is indeed, and it's just amazing. And me as a blockchain developer, I'm obviously building a lot of utility and things like this. But I dream about the day where we see these strong support of meme coins inside of my own blockchain. What you're launched on Ethereum, right?
Yeah, the project is on Ethereum, but like, a couple of things I want to mention here, Lars, a really interesting topic is to talk about like memes and utility and what's going on in the space right now, and I think if I can have a moment to make a couple comments on that, if that's okay.
For
Yeah. So
sure, for
I
sure.
was I was
Shoot.
a big utility guy. Like I would never touch a meme coin ever, ever, ever. And in the last, I think probably around actually I bought Pepe, but that was the only one last cycle. And then in the last 6 months, what had happened is I was getting into a lot of utility projects, and there's very few projects that actually have the project going, like TTF. Like they've got a business model that's done. It's being used by people, like a lot of people. They're generating income, right? Like this is what people like me get into crypto for, to find these types of projects, invest in them and then make a little bit of return on them, like passive income, right? Meanwhile, the project goes up because more people are buying the coin. It's a very like beautiful concept and idea. And I think what happened is even with meme coins, there's like 100,000 launches of coins per week. I think that's the crazy statistics we're at these days. And a lot of these projects are unfortunately tax farms or farms just to get your money. They don't have any intention of actually building something. They're this just there to farm your money from you. Or in other scenarios, maybe they are trying to build something, but crypto's full of so many hurdles. You know what I mean? Like you could be doing great, and all of a sudden you're holding your project's war chest in that token or in ETH, and something happens and the market drops, and you don't have the money that you thought you did, and or someone on the team decides not to do this, or a competitor comes, or some big whale dumps. Like there's all these other factors that make crypto so difficult. And I think what happened with a lot of people, why memes really started taking off here in the last 6 to 8 months, is I think people were like me, and like I was so fed up with these utility projects not doing what they were promising me. And with the meme coin, you kind of like, you're like, I'm in this coin, it does nothing. Like it exists, And what does Pepe do? What does Dodge do? They do absolutely nothing but exist. And the utility is the community, because money ultimately, when you look at the root of it, is backed only by the belief of it to be money, right? And I think in this space, and I think what I see is going to happen is the way the masses are going to come in. Like, I love utility projects. I'm still invested, but I don't think my neighbor and his kids, or that guy on TikTok, or the guy that watched the Super Bowl commercial, they're not going to come in to crypto looking for utility. They're going to come in because they've seen Pepe or Dodge, and someone made $2 million in 3 weeks off that coin. And I think that's what's going to suck people in. And I think what these blockchains are doing, some of these bigger entities like Solana or Base or ETH, is that they, once people get, not ETH because they already have this, but these newer blockchains, once they get the liquidity there and the people investing in the meme coins in there, then they can maybe start partnering with the utility projects and start giving utility to these memes through those projects. That way they can onboard that community into that utility project. Because just going out as a utility project, telling people stuff they don't understand and telling them to put money in there is a lot more difficult than saying, hey, buy this cartoon character that just did this cool video animation. Like that's fun. You know what I mean? So I think that's something that's going to happen over time. And that's how you're going to get the new wave of people in the space. And that's how these utilities are, you're going to see a lot of these meme coins partnering with these well-known utility projects, because they've got that clientele that they can bring and start training them on the utility side of things. So that's where I'm at with everything. I do a lot of studying on this. So that's kind of where it's led me to.
I do believe that you are completely right in terms of adoption. It's hard for utility projects, no matter if it's utility like TTF, but which actually goes in for the security of the investors, or if it's a trading platform like URI Unity, whatever platform you have or marketplace, whatever you have out there, it's gonna be hard to bring new people into the space. And one of the things that you really see at the current moment is, for example, I've been following a little bit this Hamster Combat and Notcoin, which have done very different launches, right? Just similar to Green Cat, who was presenting here earlier today, where they go out and simply just distribute it out. And I know I have because they are inside of the Rise initiative, I actually have access to the tracking of where their users are, and they have already gotten users out in the Amazon of Brazil and Peru, Colombia, all of this area. And that's probably not DeFi users that are coming from that area, right? And you can say with Hamster Combat being with around 200 million users, with the amount of users that is in DeFi now, it's safe to say that the majority, or at least a good portion of the users there, they will be first-time users into DeFi, right? So I think for adoption into DeFi, there needs to be some very simple entries for people, and maybe that entry doesn't have to actually include an investment, or if it has to include an investment, then it's less a less utility-based investment like meme coins, and crazy stories about big wealth distribution that goes in and actually brings the people in to the space in the first moment, right? And then from there, hopefully we'll be able to get some of them over to utility-based projects. But I do believe that we have a big intro there, and meme coins do plays a very, very big part of this. Dogecoin have done their fair share. I know a lot of people were investing in their first investment was Shiba Inu or Dogecoin, and these type of projects. So I can only support you in what you're saying. And again, I'm looking forward to both me and my whole community for the meme coin season to start on the Reborn mainnet, which obviously Foxy is gonna be one of them. But I know behind the scenes there's many people currently working towards it. Do you have any last comments that you would like to come with before we end your presentation for today and move forward in the spaces?
No, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to get Baby Pepe up here. I really appreciate what everybody on the panel has to say. And I appreciate you, Lars, for getting this going and really trying to push adoption out here. And I'm personally interested in checking out your project there and what it's about. I like being early.
Amazing. Rabona, you're very early. We only just went live, I think, around 3 months ago, but we are still not fully integrated on the mainnet. The project is a little bit older, but we also started like a meme coin. We had a different name. We rebranded to Rabona back in 2022, but we actually started with the name of Theta Moon, and we started with a $1,200 market cap. So obviously it has a good sides and it has some bad sides. We are currently sitting just under 5 million market cap, and we are listed on one centralized exchange to not keep the network locked, so you can actually move money in and out. But yeah, before we jump into the next project, I saw there was a few people who had requests to speak, and I just gave them access to speak. Ivan, you were one of these people that requested to speak. Do you have anything you would like to say before we jump over to the next project?
Yeah, I actually had a question for Baby Pepe. So I know about the contract, but did Matt Fury ever put Baby Pepe in a book of his?
He actually just came out, or actually didn't just come out, but we just saw the other day he made a plushie of Baby Pepe. So
Okay.
he has given it that credit.
And that was about it, just a plushie.
Yeah, just a plushie so far that I know of. Correct.
Okay, cool.
But
Thank
the other thing I'd like to mention here is there's a lot of different characters. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like the Knight Riders and Hoppy and Watt and those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like and even there's a Matt Fury token
Mm.
OX65, I believe. So who knows where this is going to go, bro? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's very
Yeah.
like, and even the OX beef, like that's on the Pepe website, like a bull, right? So, do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
all these things are really like just it's when you think of it, you're like, hey, did someone plan all this? Because it seems pretty weird, but they all came out different. Like I've researched them all. I think there's some strong ties between Andy, Wolf, and Brett there. And I think there's some institutional money into Andy that's really going to take it to the next level. The other thing is you've got Brett on base that's over $1 billion
Yeah.
market cap. So I just think the whole narrative is really going to go up. Yeah, and I just think it like, again, like when you look at like NFTs, people buy these on rarity, and like if you type in Baby Pepe or Andy or any of these common name tokens, right? Like or um, characters, you'll see that there's tons of them, right? So like to me, the address it gives it that edge, right? And I think when you're looking for
Mhm.
which one is going to make it, right? Like people are looking for the OG, or they're looking for them to have Coin Market Cap and Coin Gecko. You know what I mean? Or they're looking at the community. Like when you're adding up all the little um, check marks, you know what I mean? To me,
Yeah.
this has the most by far. And like that contract address just seems like a trump card versus other contract address. It just feels superior to me because that's what we're about, numbers and letters, right? We're on the blockchain. Like theoretically, it just is. It's interesting to think about,
Yeah. And as far as for your Telegram, it's in your link in the bio, or
Yeah. Just check out. I'm just one of the community members. I'm not a Twitter guy, so I'm just doing the hosting the spaces here, and representing the community. So everything is from this profile. Yeah, the Telegram, the Twitter, or yeah, everything you need, the CA, all
okay.
that stuff. But yeah, man, check it out. Go to the Telegram room. You know what I mean? Everybody's really like it's. You go to a lot of these communities and there's not really like things going on, right? And especially right now, the alt market's been kind of beat up with Bitcoin going back down to 60K or whatever. It seems like it's coming out, and I do want to say that like it looks like the Ethereum ETF is coming in the next week or two. Like that's the rumor. Like who knows if it happens on the first try, but they say that looks good. Like I think the SEC even came out yesterday and said, hey, things are going smoothly. So with that being said, if we do get ETF for ETH and we have the election coming up here in November, I think the markets are looking really, really nice, for pretty much, shooting fish in a barrel type of style. But we'll see.
Amazing,
Quick question from
amazing.
Foxy.
Yeah, come.
Yeah, if somebody wants to tell me how I can put my hand up here, I'll listen, but because I just don't see how. But really interesting discussion on memes. I've enjoyed listening to this. I won't say I necessarily agree with everything, but it is a truly an interesting discussion, and it's nice to have it here. My question is, are you planning on launching on Roberna? And if you're planning on launching on Roberna, how do you get a unique address? Because it's not something you just can't create your own address. So you can't get 069 Babe. Well, of course you can't get that on Roberna, or I don't know how you could anyway, but are you planning on launching on Roberna, and will you just take whatever address you get, or are you going to try to get a specific address?
I'm just representing the like community here, so there hasn't been any talks about launching on different chains. In terms of doing that, like you're totally correct. I think like I don't know on other chains if you can have your own custom address. I do know that like on Dodge chain, like they have their own like, and I'm pretty sure Bitcoin is the same. You can't have more than one ticker, which is really something that I think is awesome, because that's the problem. I think is it's so hard to know what to do because it's so saturated. And I think by the end of the bull market, there's going to be like 3,000 Pepes that you could choose from if you click it in Dex Tools or whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Like all I can say is I've seen a few posts on X that say to generate this address, it would be 1 in 8,500,066. But like I'm thinking in my head, like, where does this guy get these numbers from? Do you know what I mean? So, and I've asked whenever I do these spaces or have these meme talks, right? Because I'm really interested too, and I don't know the answers. I don't know if people are going to come in a certain way or what's going to happen. I'm just going with kind of like, hey, like I've listened to so many people talk about this. This kind of makes sense is where we're kind of going. You know what I mean? So, yeah, with all that being said, I don't know. And the one thing I always worry too is like, what happens if these are easily generated and then you have like 300 of the same addresses all of a sudden, right? Like, and that's something that could definitely happen or couldn't. And I don't know. But right now, I know there's a scarcity and I don't see too many popping up. I mean, I do see the top three, the 066, 067, 068, and the Pepe 069. They come up a lot, and I'm not sure if there's a way people are like cloning certain things that have already been found, maybe. But yeah, I really don't know. And like, if you can find the answer, that'd be great because it's interesting. It's an interesting subject, and it's interesting that they all kind of have periodically shown up this cycle on Ethereum. And I think too, like I'm not sure about Solana and pump.com, whatever they might be doing that too. I don't know if they can do that, maybe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think pump just appends PUMP at the end of the address. So whatever address it generates, they just append pump at the end. So I don't think there's a way they can generate a specific address.
And you know what would be really cool, like down the road? Imagine if you could generate any address for your project. It would just make it so much. Yeah,
that would be cool.
Because a lot of times you're just seeing addresses too, right? And like even when you have to like copy paste an address, if you had like if you knew the first part was 0x69 babe, like it's easier to like on the eyes, right? Like these things are like the most confusing things, right? So yeah, just an interesting topic, interesting narrative. I personally am heavily invested in that narrative. Like so far, I feel like I've been early. Like I'm up. I even on the pullback here, like I'm still doing well with all my contract addresses coins, right? So I like it. I think people like it. Like I can even tell with you guys. You're kind of like, hey, what's that? Just kind of curious, right? And like the more you dive in, get in that Telegram, guys, get in that Telegram, and the more
and absolutely kind of curious, because this topic has never come up before in any discussions I've ever had about crypto. Like it's like you get the address you get when you generate your contract, right? There's no, oh, hey, like I got this really cool address.
Exactly. Wow. And then when you can pair that up against the DAD, like to me, pushing a meme coin is all about like, what narrative do you have that can really sell the customer, right? And like I'm in another project that's the first cat on Solana deployed by WIF, the WIF developer, which was the first dog that's in the billions, right? So it's these types of narratives that like, okay, now I can feel safe sticking around in this coin because it has that narrative that no one's just going to cheat because it's there's nothing that's holding me there, right? With Baby Pepe, that thing that holds you there, and like even when that other project came out against us, like so many of the people that I know that are deeply invested into this narrative, they were like, yeah, don't worry, we got the contract address, man. Like that's like your trump card, right? Like, and it's such a little, but it's so rare, like, and no one knows where it comes from. So it's just, and that's what I mean. It's all about like, we're the first market mover. Do you know what I'm saying? We have the highest market cap, like anything you can to sell your, especially when you're competing against different renditions, right? It's different if you're the only one out there and you're like, we're the only Ponky, like, do you know what I mean? But if there's all of a sudden 300 Ponkies out there, then like, hey, well, what separates me? These guys are,
which there are 100 new ones every day on Solana, right?
And
literally,
the other thing you're going to really start noticing now too, not just from the ones that have great contract addresses, but just the other ones, like even like let's say for example on the ETH chain with these coins, you have a FOFAR, which is the fat friend, a fat pig is what it is. You know what I mean? It's a big pink fat pig, and it's such a funny meme. And that's the friend of Pepe. But you have one that's contract address OX71, right? So it's in the lineage. It's in the lineage. And then you have another one that's OX420, which is another interesting contract address. You have an Elon. You have an Elon
Oh, yeah.
token out there at 17 mil market cap right now. That's what is it?
Mhm.
For OX
420.
420 and then 69 or something like that. So it's just, you know, and those are like, and when you look at like, because I was really early into like I collect rare Satoshis and stuff like that too, right? So when you think about
Mhm.
like that, and that's what I think made me like so like into these contract addresses, because I'm into those
Yeah.
rare Satoshis, and that's like such a big, it's such a like a nothing, but it's such like a big deal for crypto nerds. You know what I mean? And the one thing
It is.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
it is.
my whole theory in this. I've done a lot of thinking on this. My whole theory is like when
Mhm.
if you had, let's say, an old coin, you know, from 500 years ago, or you had one of the first dollar bills, or you had a misprint, or you had something like, you know, if you look at the physical coin and bill market for the last few hundred years, if you had any of these things, it'd be worth a lot of money. And we're just getting into the digital money system, right? So like we're
Yeah.
so early, like, you know,
Mhm.
people could be going to buy these pizza sats for fucking pennies. Sorry for the language, for pennies. You know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
down the road, you know, you give them to your kids like that. You own a pizza sat that costs your dad or your grandpa pennies. That thing's probably going to be worth so much money at
Mhm.
the time, you know.
Mhm.
And like
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
it's it's the physical turning to the digital and the rarity in the digital. And that's
Yeah.
kind of like what I, you know, like
Yeah.
even when I see the Elon token, like that's awesome to me. There's a Trump one that's been abandoned. That's a OX. It's the same first four digits of the main Trump one, like the big one, and then it has Babe
Mhm.
on the back end of
Mhm.
that. Right.
Mhm.
So, but it's been
Mhm.
abandoned. And that's a problem too, right? Like they may have a wicked contract address, but if there's no one that's come together to like see that, and or there's no professional team that's pumping that, like it's not, you know, it's harder to get that going, especially when you have a competing non-contract numbered one that's got, you know, a cabal 500K pushing it up and bubble the supply, and
Right.
you know what I mean? Like it's going up.
Yeah. 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 Just imagine OX 420 Elon.
Well,
What would
that's what
that
I'm
be worth?
saying, man. I think as
Craziness. Yeah,
time
no,
goes
it's
by, because like that's 17 million
mm,
market cap, that one right now. You know what I mean? Like this
mhm,
Wolf
mhm,
one went to 120 mil. Andy went to 300 mil.
mhm.
So like people have seen this, and it's a thing. Like it's a thing. Like whether you want to be in it or believe in it, it doesn't really matter because it's a thing. Like that wouldn't have went to 300 million and be sitting here in consolidation at 160 and moving up. And what do you think happens when Andy goes to, like, you know, even get 500 mil and Wolf at 300 mil, and people start saying OX69, OX6, like that's what we're all doing. That's what I have all my friends invested in my contract addresses. That's all I'm killing is the
Mhm.
address. Like, hey man. And I tell them, and like when I tell you this, like you tell me now, like if I were to ask you, why would you go invest in another Baby Pepe over us? Like what?
Yeah. Yeah. No
Like
reason,
if you were
right? Yeah.
at them.
But,
Sorry, go
but
ahead.
yeah. But I was going to say, getting that address, that's like winning the lottery. And not everybody wins
It's
lottery,
literally
right?
from
A lot
what
of
these
people.
posts say that I've seen online, they're like at least 1 in 8 million. And I've seen crazier ones go
Yeah.
into the 1 in 1 billion. But I don't want to like shill these
Yeah.
numbers because I don't know for sure. But I do know they're not around. And someone or someone's knows how to get them. And it's not all the same person. So they're either different people that know how to get them, or someone can get them and sells them to like the elite developer network. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know, but I'm here for it.
Anyway, good discussion.
Yeah, right on, man. Thanks.
Definitely an interesting subject. Definitely an interesting subject. And again, the meme coins, it's a very, very interesting a very, very interesting industry. In terms of the contracts, I think normally you can only, when you deploy a new chain, I know that it's possible to make some pre-assignated contract addresses, but as soon as a chain is actually live, then contract addresses are generated random. But obviously there must be some people who really know how to get that working, because we are now seeing several meme coins with the with the numbers as you just mentioned. So it's extremely interesting. But I think let's end the meme coin for now. It was very nice to having you on here, Baby Pepe, and we would look forward to maybe hear from you guys again on another summit.